December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
It is indeed the date that has lived in infamy. But as time goes on and the generations change, there's a chance some forget the significance of December 7th, 1941. Not here. Welcome to MidPoint. Best-selling author, historian, and lecturer, the man who penned the excellent book, December 1941, 3 Days That Changed America and Saved the World, Craig Shirley. Craig, thank you so much for being here today.
You bet. Thank you, Ed.
Craig, here's the thing that catches me, and this goes down to the title of your book. 3 days that changed America, but also saved the world. Someone said to me not long ago, imagine how things would be here in America if the Japanese had never attacked us and we never would have been drawn into World War II. But at the same time, I counter back, imagine what the rest of the world and Europe might be like today.
It's an excellent question. It's an excellent point to consider is that the World War II, our entry into World War II because of, well, December 7th and then because of December 11th, then Germany and Italy declared war on us, is that so we declared war on them in response. But our plunge into World War II radically changes America's course forever and leads to in all sorts of directions that we hadn't even thought of. The Orion rocket that went off this morning comes out of the Apollo space the manned space program. The manned space program came out of the Cold War, and the Cold War came out of the post World War II era where we went into competition with the Soviets. But we might not. I mean, the things that we take for granted today. Dwight Eisenhower as President of the United States, who was really just a minor staffer on MacArthur's staff in the 1930s, then leads, of course, the greatest invasion in history. John Kennedy runs in 1960 in part as a war hero, and without his being a war hero in the Pacific in World War II, he just would have been another rich, lightweight playboy and probably would have lost the election. Our world, the United Nations, our permanent status as an internationalist country, all these things changed because of December 7th, 1941. Technology, warfare, diplomacy, economy, race relations, women in the workplace, all these things change because of December 7th, 1941.
About 90 seconds so we have left here. Are we still, and I would imagine the answer to this is yes, we are still learning things about that attack. Every single year, it seems, that we didn't know. It's a font of information that we're consistently discovering.
Yeah, Ed, is that the history that is new history that emerges all the time. Personal recollections I was doing a lecture down in Florida last year, and during the Q&A, there was a man in the audience who knew more about the subject than I did. It turned out he was Army who was at Schofield Barracks on the morning of December 7th, 1941. He graduated from West Point in 1939, had been posted to the Army barracks there in Hawaii, was there in his skivvies, and when the bombing started, and went out in his underwear in the yard was issued an M1 carbine and just started shooting at anything in the air that was flying. But this is, it's just it was his story, and I interviewed him for it, but it's a very important part of the story. For instance, something we discovered, my researcher, my son, from the Hyde Park, the Roosevelt Library, which is in our book, December 1941, is that the Office of Naval Intelligence had given a top secret memo to the Roosevelt White House, to President Roosevelt and the members of his senior staff, 3 days before the attack, warning them in no uncertain terms that war was coming and that the Japanese were looking at the Panama Canal Zone, Wake Island, and a couple other installations, and the Hawaiian Territory. So there was and that kind of pushed the narrative a little bit closer, that Roosevelt knew more than people assumed, and
always
maybe
learning.
could have done.
Always learning. Unfortunately, Craig, we're out of time. It's December 1941, 31 Days That Changed America and Saved the World, a wonderful book. Craig Shirley, thank you so much. Best holidays to you and your family.
Likewise, thank you.